Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Terrible Fanfiction Hour, also named after our panel, Terrible Fanfiction Reading. And today, like I said, marks the first episode of us bringing back Terrible Fanfiction. Now, the way this works, we're going to read as much of the story as we can within an hour. If the story finishes before the hour's over, then the live stream is over. You can catch the replay and TikTok shorts on tiktok.com/geeks5ever. Today we're going to be reading Pokemon Champion. We will be reading it the way it is written, trying to sound out the misspelled words, and we will also be reading the author notes. Chapter 1. Pokemon Champion. Author note: I've always wanted to do one of these, but I see now that it's a lot harder than it seems. In the extremely unlikely event that I ever do another one, I know now that I have a lot to work on. For the maximum effect, read it slowly and out loud in your most dramatic and epic voice possible. Pokemon Champion. Nash Fetch'em. Period. And he was Ash Ketchum's cousin. He lived from Pallet Town, but wasn't from the same year, so he was never met with as his cousin. One day, Nash Fetch'em got up to start his Pokemon journey once and for all. Nash Fetch'em said, "I will be the Pokemon champion," and got up and put on his socks, but looked at the cloak and he was very late. So he got backpack and left faster. Dr. Oak said, "You are late," and showed him empty Pokeballs, period, with no Pokemon in them. Nash Fetch'em said, "But what the Pokemon will I have?" A mysterious voice said, "Take the other Pokeball, Nash." And he looked, but didn't see the voice. But he took the Pokeball under the table and opened it. Pika! It was a Pikachu. Dr. Oak said, "I didn't glad almost that one." Dr. Oak said, It looks like you," and smiled. "But watch out." It was too late, as Nash Ketchum was zapped and fall to the ground with bruises and crispy. Nash Fetch'em said, "Goodbye," to his mother and left on the road for the town where the first gym JIM was. Pikachu did followed along with Nash, and as he told stories of how IE would be Pokemon champion. Nash Fetch'em went to Jim, spelled JIM, Nash Fetchum went to Jim because he said, I have to be good Pokemon champion like my brother Ash. And he readied for the battle with the gym leader named Baroque. Baroque. Draw your Pokemon, said Baroque as he showed him a rock onyx dragon. Nash was going to use Weedle he found in some grass. But the voice said, no, use Pikachu. But again, Nash looked around and didn't see. Oh, looked around and didn't see voices. Who are you? Said Nash Fetchum. Back to Nash Fetchum. You have to use Pikachu because it is the dragon weakness, said the voice. Then it just was silence. Go, Pikachu, said Nash. Baroque counter with rocks, and Pikachu had to dodge. Then threw Pokemon at him and landed. A leap, it attacked, missed, dust everywhere. Then it settled, and Pikachu was tops. Baroque Fetchum was on the road again and laughed. It was nice out. The trees were happy in the air. But Nash Fetchum thinked, thinked about the voice that was right more than him. But the voice said, Nash Fetchum, look up. And Nash, looking up to the other sky, and saw Rayquaza and caught it in Pokeball. Nash Fetchum said, yay, I got Rayquaza, and went into the daycare to drop it off. But when he put on Rayquaza, the nice lady said, cute Rayquaza, it's time to play with your blocks. But Rayquaza said, Rayquaza does not play with blocks. And he hyper beamed, and the daycare seater blow up. Next, he had to battle a Jim, J-I-M, with pants. Jesus Christ. Let me let me take a break. Let me this is actually pretty. I think this is worse than my mortal. Let me I'm ready. Next, he had to battle a Jim with pants, spelled J-I-M. He waited, but the voice said to him, Nash Fetchum, use Pikachu again. But Nash Fetchum said, but the plants are hard with Pikachu, but the voice didn't answer again. So he went. The enemy pulled out a gloom and said to Nash Fetchum, "You think you have what it takes, boy?" And attacked. Pikachu dodge. Pikachu dodged and leaped quickly through the air and did Electu sparks, gloom filled with electric, and soon could not battle anymore. It was certain, Pikachu said. Because had won the battle again. The gym, not the gym, the gym. Jim. Leader said, "I had you wrong, kid," and gave another badge to Nash Fetchum. Nash Fetchum went to the other gyms really fast. I'm guessing he's trying to say gym leader, but he's making it sound like every gym leader is named Jim. He fought long and hard and got every badge because he always did his best. There were times when he stopped, but the voice said again, "No, Ash Fetchum, you must battle to be Pokemon champion." And he listened to the voice and kept fighting. His peers fell when he collected his last badge to enter and the last battle. Nash Fetchum stood at the last battle for all. Crowds gathered from where? The mood was at the limit for Nash Fetchum's quest to be Pokemon champion. The voice said Nash Fetchum used Pidgeot. I think he's trying to say Pidgeot, then Pikachu. So he did. He chose Pidgey. Oh, finally spelled it right. For the first round. The other trainer said, "I will be the best," and sent Charizard. How can he spell Charizard and he can't spell Jim? Maybe I'm asking too much. They flew. I spoke too soon. Through the air, but Pidgey was smaller and could dodge faster, like lightning. Whirlwinds in the air. Charizard blew fireballs, but Pidgey went fast and threw them to hit the target. It was like nothing before. And then Pidgey caught fire. Pidgey caught fire and flapped to put out. But Charizard stomped him fast, and he was the victor. Nash Ketchum said, "No, Pidgey," but then sended out Pikachu in replace. Pikachu dove fast and finished off the fight because Charizard was weak now. Charizard's weak from a Pidgey he just stomped the mud hole on. Yeah. Then the trainer chose Zubat, but Pikachu won too. Finally, he was at his last Pokemon. The crowd turned to nuts. Go Ninetales. It's spelled with the number 9, and then Tails is spelled wrong too. Go Ninetales, and Ninetales. Oh, he spelled Tails right finally. And Ninetales came out. It swirled like fireballs and struck Pikachu like thunder. And then Pikachu's face fell on the ground. Nash Fetchum said, "Go, Pikachu, you can do it." And Pikachu got back up and jumped and slammed it in the face, so it went flying and didn't get up. The man said, "Nash Fetchum wins." And Nash Fetchum cried as he hugged Pikachu. Pikachu said, "Pika." And Nash Fetchum said, "We win, Pikachu, and I am a Pokemon champion," and cried more. But then something horrible happened. The voice said, "Congratulations, Nash Fetchum, you did well." And Nash Fetchum looked up to see Mewtwo, and this is spelled with the number 2, not... It's... Okay, I understand Mewtwo is spelled... at the end, the 2 is spelled T-W-O, but this is It's not a word. It's Mew and then the number two, like Ninetales. He didn't bother spelling out the word. He just put two. And see Mewtwo standing in front. Nash Fetchum said, "It's you all along." And Mewtwo said, "Thank you, Nash Fetchum. You helped me take over the world. You did well, my little Pokemon." Nash Fetchum said, "But I'm not a Pokemon." But Mewtwo said, "I am your master, Nash Fetchum. Pikachu was only your imagination because you are Pikachu." Nash Fetchum looked down and saw his yellow paws and fur for the first time. Mewtwo said, "You did well, my little one. You deserve rest." And he held out Pokeball. Nash Fetchum said, "No," and tried to dodge it, but it was too late for him. He got caught in the Pokeball and stayed there forever. The end. That was just crap. Yeah, there's more to it. It says the end, but there are 3 more chapters. Chapter 2, Love Strikes Mewtwo Back. Yes, a part 2. I couldn't resist. Here's a stab to a bunch of cliches I've been seeing all too often. Maybe the cliche of correct spelling and grammar could be stabbed at. I don't know. Again, don't forget to read it out loud as dramatically as you can. Pokemon, my stray champion 2, Love Strikes Mewtwo Back. Part 1, The Darkness of Heart. Not the heart like Brett the Hitman Hart. Mewtwo sat still. He was still sad and angsty Pokemon as he taking over the around at the dark destruction he was caused by what? Let me read that again. He was sad and angsty Pokemon as he taking over the around at the dark destruction he was caused by him. It was Boston. Now it was not. Mewtwo said humans are pathetic and they will all die and only Pokemon will rule. And growled at himself because, he's that kind of Pokemon. Mewtwo was born by cloning did in laboratory. He held it did as Mew. He held it as Mew DNA curse through his veins like nothing will. So he was the most ever powerful Pokemon. He could create shadow balls, do blow up when he wanted them to, but he felt soft and did not hate humans yet. So one day Mewtwo was walking into the sky when he saw a Pokemon trainer throw a Pokeball onto the ground. There was a rat-tat-tat that came out and he said, "Go, use tickle attack." So Rat-Tat jumped into and took out some Pidgey down below in the bushes, but they gotted it away before it could be catch. You pathetic Rat-Tat. You are weak. You will never be strong. Poke me on, and I am leaving you here, not HERE. Here as in like I can hear you. Don't bother following me because I hate you. And break, like car brakes, break his Pokeball under a rock so Artata couldn't come along. The trainer walked away and it cried tears. Then Mewtwo fielded the darkness was coming fast from his heart, like pulsing shadows. One day Mewtwo. So day Mewtwo is one word. Was talking a wah. He said to Ratta, "Why has this humans done it? This you?" And it's okay. I don't know how much of that y'all missed. I don't want to read all that back because it sucks. This is terrible. Okay, so I don't know what's going on. Something about them being poor. Oh, because he said to Ratta, "Why has this humans done it? This you?" And it's said because everyone laughs at me because I am poor. So Mewtwo grunted and he found the trainer and blew up the Pokeball so the Pokemon could be free. Then Sadie to the trainer, "You will feel my wrath," and blew up. Can you hear me now? That was long ago. Now as Mewtwo standed in the sky and looked to the black dark things around, he knew it was time. The humans all die now. Me too, said and flied away. Part 2. She appears. Mewtwo flew to Kanto, where Pokemon gyms, Jim, the name, not the actual gym. That's how he misspells gyms and puts gym, were and said to Baroque, "I will battle you." But when Baroque Drew said, "Go Onyx," Mewtwo stepped up and blow up, and the entire gym Winnet explode, and the ceiling felded and made Baroque die. I have a stroke. No, it actually my connection cut off. That's what it was. It's still live stream. I might not do I might just do these pre-recorded and release them as shorts. This is just like a pilot episode, and I'm already 25 minutes in and I already have a headache. So, Brock, dead. A girl came running from down the road. She had long, limpid hair the color of midnight and piercing blue eyes of gray and supple form. She saw the Jim, Jim, in destroyed and scream, "No, he was my father," and cry on her knees. Mewtwo saw her and he felt different about her than with other Hunans. He was felt. Mewtwo said, "Jennifer, I am Mewtwo, and your father is dead." And Mewtwo said, "I am sorry, but humans must die so that darkness can be the everything. But you're not with the E, not with the RE at the end. It's You're different. Jennifer said, why are you doing this? A single tear kept falling below hers eyes, because you are, you are human and I am Pokemon, and there can be a way for peace. And Mewtwo flew off, and she stared in quiet to sky. Link's crossbow training? What the fuck? It just randomly says Link's crossbow training. Mewtwo went to destroy other places, palaces like gyms and Saffron City, to watch the buildings crumble and humans plead. But when Mewtwo looked to the sky, he saw a face of Jennifer Emmett, and say, Jennifer, I keep thinking of you in clowns past. When Mewtwo restored restored it's rest with an ER and then an ED. Restored for the night, he dreamt about her eyes and swam in them, and in his dreams it felt raining gently. Mewtwo woke up screaming dead. I am Mewtwo, why am I in love? Because Lube, and he was very confused because if all did he die, then Jennifer was being died too. But he did want to Jennifer to die because he loved her. I can't take this shit. Mewtwo stare at the wall and say there has to be a way, and piked up a big rock and threw it, and it turned it to a throat starred. Because if we can't be together, then, and Mewtwo held himself head in his hand and moped. In the beginning of the morning, Mewtwo came from where and said, Jennifer, I love you, and don't warrant you die, but you are human. Jennifer said, what will you do to me, Mewtwo? I will turn you into female Mewtwo. And he picked her up and flew her fast to the lab where Mewtwo was born. He had to flying fast because the world became collapsing around down in, because he was not there anymore. Jesus Christ, I got lost. The lab was dark and croaky because humans were not there for hundreds of years. Mewtwo did a shadow ball to activate the computer, and it said, Team Rocket, the mainframe, what are your orders? And Mewtwo told it to do. So Mewtwo took off her clothes, not clothes, like CLOSE, and put it Jennifer into tanks to become the new experiment, but not of clogging, but of now body. And she became sleepily, and her head hung doubt, but she kept standing by wires. Mewtwo said, activate now. And the room zapped Jennifer with red streaks and machine zoop, and span fast like gear. And there were lots of sounds and so much light that Mew 3 couldn't see that, okay, now he's fucking Mew 3. And then there was boom, and it became stopping. The trans future was ended over, and Mewtwo waited for the tank to open to reveal the new Jennifer. She appeared as a girl, Mewtwo with green instead of pink, and she walked out of the tank. Still fell Mewtwo catch her. They held in her arms, and there was kiss. Now it is done, and we are happy. Mewtwo said, but Jennifer said, "No, Mewtwo, it is not like that." What is it? Do you mean? Mewtwo, this body is unstable, and I will die soon. Mewtwo is like, gasp. And Jennifer said, "Goodbye, Mewtwo. I love you," and then silent because she was dead. Mewtwo held her in his arms, and she went lump and drooped down the floor. But she said still it couldn't be. She was really gone. Mewtwo cried like raw, and lightning came where around him, and shadows became the sky like dead, and the same laboratory vaporized and burned down like when he did it the first time 100 years ago. Mewtwo rose up into the stars and started a light burst like Wang Street, and the light got big, and Mewtwo exploded, and the world blew up. The end. Oh my god, there's more. Chapter 3, the last final part. So he wrote the first one as a one shot. He loved it so much, he wrote a completely separate chapter, which almost has nothing to do with the first one, because even though Mewtwo did appear. Can we read some reviews? Where are the reviews? Where are the reviews? Let me read some. Oh my god, there's 91 reviews. It took Ash decades what Nash did in a chapter. It's chapter 1, chapter 4. Please come back. We need you. We all do. I have no words for what I just read. Hashtag peak fiction. Okay, Mewtwo. This Fune was great. Thanks. Toy Pure. I poop. What? A real person. This is very much good. Stroy. I read so mooch. Hand. Have fun with. Roter. He is read story. Mooch. Hatoop. It's God. This is a review, not even the story. Okay, let's read chapter 3. Author's notes. I knew the day would come when I'd post the third chapter to this. As Silver Resistance nears an epic climax, I am really psyching myself up over it. I really do not want to drop the ball and mess it up. How is this going so perfect now? It's like I felt I need a little bit of catarasis, as though if I got some bad writing out of my system, it would help to clear my mind and help channel the good writing, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So I present to you the third and final, I promise, chapter in this ridiculous saga. Pokemon Champion 3, Part 3, the last final. Act 1, the Judgment. The world was gone. The legendary Pokemon did not know now what to do now. Acres. Is that Arceus or Acres? the god of all Pokemon, held a meeting and all the legendary Pokemon came in. Mewtwo betrayed us, said he, god of Pokemon. We must make sure like this never happens again in the new world. I will make the new world, but we will do it different this time. What is your idea? Great one, said Lucario. I made the decision, said he. I decree I will make Legendary High School. Legendary High School? Said all they. All Legendary must go to high school to learn about and get degree diplomas for being Legendary. Also, you will pair off into pairs. That's even spelled wrong, by the way. There was mumbling. Mumble, 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 mumble. I don't want to go back to school. Act 2. Late to class. On the first day of Legendary School, Dialga was late for class. You cannot be late, Dialga. Dialga. I don't know if it's spelled right. It's spelled Dialga. You are the Time Lord after all, said Palkia, and she giggled. Shut up, said Dialga, and he graped his book bag and headed for class. When they got to the class, the rest of the legendary Pokemon were there. There was Chrysalilia paired with Darkrai and Articuno with Hose. It's not Hose. And they laughed at Dialga for being late. Quiet down now, class. It's our first day here in the legendary class. The teacher was Mew1. So you don't confuse Mew with Mewtwo. They want you to know it's the first Mew. Mew1 was sad because Mewtwo died in the exploding and cold not be her partner. Today we will learn quadratic forme. She said, lame, Rayquaza said. They were all laughing. Quit, Mew1 said. Now look at the board. XYZ squared. Hey, blue butt, Giratina said to Dialga. You hear about Zekrom? No, he said. What is up? Zekrom was take crush on Reshiram, but she went with Kyurem. What? You have to share some time with the class, Mew1 said very louder. But the bell went off. The bell went off, and all the Pokemon left the class. Act 3. In the hall. Dialga went to his Dialga. Sorry, I keep saying Dialga, but it's spelled Dialga. Maybe it's spelled. I'll say Dialga. Went to his next class, but spotted at Luga and Moltreaded kissing loudly next to the locker. Jesus Christ, this is like some terrible high. Like, I know they're in high school now because Acres decided, like, hey, you know what? You're all going to school and you're gonna act like hormonally raged teenagers. Oh, you two, he said. He sad, not said, sad. At lunch, he sat next to Garatini and his partner, Palkia. I feel bad for Zegriram. He says he is lonely, glomp, but we will never be lonely, right? Dialga. Palkissa hugged him. Get off. Are you going to eat that blue butt? Garatina said and pointed to his french fries. Maybe we could all do something to help Zekrom, said Dialga, and gave Frenchy fries to Tina. Tina. Hmm. That's just a big old quote. Hmm. Act 4. Online. The night all the Pokemon logged into AI. What the fuck is AIM? America, like America Online? What the fuck? Dalgus. Hey, everyone. The number one. Uxie. Hi. Messer. Me Spirit. Don't mind her. She's had lots of sugar. Uxie. Oh my god, you can. But the levy. There is fan fictions of us. I found them on this one site. Uxie said. Uxie. Oh my god, how dare they pair me with Kyogre. Uxie, who is Misty? Me Spirit, you have two turn caps. You have two turn caps lock off, girl. Uxie, how do you do? This is turned into a manuscript. This is like a script now. How to do that? Mech Spirit, like Mexican Spirit? What the fuck? Mech Spirit. It is on your keyboard. Grow done. Hey guys, I just beat Rayquaza in chess. Rayquaza no fair. Venency rolling on the floor laughing. Dialga guys is Zekrom here. Celebi is like the first one they've actually spelt right. No ASL Reshiram is not here. God. Okay, so I guess the misspelled word was on purpose. And because they, whenever you misspell a word, you kind of do a retraction. You put the little star, and then you put the correct word. Well, they did that. It's supposed to be here, but it's spelled wrong. Reshi is on a date, I think. Celebi said. Celebi, Zeke, don't know. Dialga, well, I think we should talk about them. Lucario, what up, dude? Dialga, I'm worried about them. Lucario, let's hear it, dude. Dialga, I get the feeling something will happen with them. A self, yeah, something is happening. A self, it'll be bad if I can see the future. Dialga, what do we do? A self, don't know. Dialga logged off. Jesus Christ, thank God it was over. Act 5. Dark Wrath. School year passed and it was the last day of the last final. Oh man, I'm going to fail my bio studies project. These are legendary Pokemon that can control time, space, dark matter. They can travel through dimensions. They can travel through time. They can create other legendary Pokemon. But this fool is going to fail a bio studies project. Palkia said, do it for me, won't you please? Dialga said, Dialga never forgotten. It will be bad. I can see the future. He always worries. And Zekrom will. And what will happen? Suddenly, Zekrom foot comes down and smashes Tay's school. Roar. Dialga gasps and Palkia hugs him. No one will escape my wrath, says Zekrom. Reshiram, if you do not love me, I will destroy everything. No, says Dialga. Dialga screams to him, Zekrom, you have to stop. If you do donut stop, you are BO coming just jutes like Mewtwo. My eye is twitching. Y'all can't see me on camera. Y'all can't see my face. My eye is twitching. Dialga learned in Legendary School about Mewtwo, Adian, how he destroyed the world from his dark heart darkness. You have darkness of heart. not hearts like your organ, like Brett the Hitman heart. Screamed Dialga at giant Zekrom. But Zekrom was like God and didn't listen. He kept smashing things like God. Stop right there, scum. Everyone turned to see the new voice. Act 6. Reinforcements. Dialga looked up at T-E very high sky and saw Queen Manta Gundam flew around like streaks of light. Queen Manta sends out funnel cloud guns. They fire noises like Zekrom lungs and dash away to from foe and did a flip to protect dodge. I think my vision got blurry. Your face will die, Zeo Crumb, said Queen. But Gundam, not damn, not Gundam, not Gundam. Gun Doom, dumb, Gundam, unleash mega missile and hit. Electu sparks like none ever before. Nothing. Ah, that Zekrom, Zerokurum, swish and fall. Tried to hang on. He flew right up and then down and splashed in the ocean. There was silence. I am so confused. I'm reading this. I don't know what's going on anymore. There's a Gundam. Act 7. Oh my god, is this almost over? Yes, it is. New friendship. All the legendaries stand in awe of the Gundam figure. It lands on the ground and Twilight Sparkle and Fluttershy comes out of it. Jesus Christ. Try not to string yourself reading this, Goku. You don't want YouTube flagging the channel for self-harm. Don't worry. Don't worry, Zekrom. Zekrom. We live, teehee, said Twilight. What? All? It just says what with a question mark. This is the quotation. What? And then it just says all. All. Like they all said what? What are you doing here? Poins. Dialga said. Arceus, they finally spelled Arceus right. And Princess Celestia show up together. See, says Arceus. I said I would make this world different, so I made Pokemon live in Equestria. And I pair myself with Princess Celestra. Now the mistake of Mewtwo will never happen again. Because we have the ultimate weapon. Friendship. That is the end of chapter 3. Okay, note from the author, chapter 4. Hey guys, I wanted to apologize to my loyal fans for not updating in 8 years. Can you believe it's been 8 years? I can't either. I'm really sorry, it's just that lots of stuff have been going on in my life, and I had to repeat the 11th grade twice. I wonder why. And I just quit high school and got my GED. Then I lost the internet until I went to college, but I quit that too after 3 years. But I was trying to major in English. Well, I'm glad you didn't. And I think I got a little better at writing. Can you believe how bad I once was at writing? I could barely bring myself to look at this fic anymore. Then I got married and divorced, lost my job, and I think my electric company is going to turn off the lights tonight, so I'm trying to type this fast. Anyways, I just wanted to let everyone know something. This story is not dead. Soon I will be back with chapter 4. Just wait and see. This is going to be the most epic crossover fic with Pokemon and My Little Pony. With some Gundams thrown in for the lulz that you'll that you've ever seen. I have it all planned out through chapter 75. And that's only for the first story arc. Also, I'm probably going to reboot the story from the beginning. The writing sucks, and Jennifer is a total Mary Sue in chapter 2. It makes me cringe every time I try to read it. It's going to be a long haul, but I promise I won't let everyone down. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read the entire story, but I'm going to actually fix it for him. Pokemon Nash Ketchum. He was Ash Ketchum's cousin. He lived from Pallet Town, but wasn't from the same. Him and Ash weren't the same age. They did not start their journey the same year. So he never actually got to meet his cousin. One day, Nash Ketchum woke up and began his Pokemon journey. Finally, Nash Ketchum said, "I will be the Pokemon champion." And got up, got dressed, put on his socks and his shoes, put on his backpack, and took off. However, he was already running late. And so he went to Professor Oak's with haste. Professor Oak said, "You're late," and showed him the empty slots where the Pokemon were for the starting trainers. Nash looked and said, what Pokemon am I gonna have?" A mysterious voice that only he could hear spoke. "Take the other Pokeball, Nash." And he looked. He didn't see. He looked around, trying to find the voice that was speaking to him, but nothing. He took the Pokeball that was under the table and opened it. It was a Pikachu. Pikachu! Professor Oak said, I'm glad that I still had that one. It looks like it likes you," Professor Oak said with a smile. "But watch out." But it was too late. Nash Ketchum was zapped, and he fell to the ground. That smoke came off his body, looking crispy. Nash Ketchum said goodbye to his mother and left on the road for the town where he would meet the first Pokemon gym leader. Pikachu followed alongside Nash outside of his Pokeball, just like his cousin Ash. And he would tell Pikachu stories about how he would become Pokemon champion one day. Nash went to the gym because he said, "I have to be a good Pokemon champion like my cousin Ash." It says brother, but like I said, I'm fixing the story. And he was ready for the battle with the gym leader named Brock. "Draw your Pokemon," said Brock as he showed him the rock Pokemon Onix. Nash decided to use Weedle. He had captured before reaching the town to face Brock. But the voice spoke again and said, "No. Use Pikachu." Nash looked. "Who are you?" The voice said once again, "You have to use Pikachu because it's that Onix's weakness," said the voice. And then it went silent. "Go, Pikachu," said Nash. But Brock countered with a rock smash attack, and Pikachu had to dodge. He then... Okay, this is where I get fucking confused. Then threw Pokemon hand and landed and leave. Pikachu dodged, avoided the attacks, and didn't attack. Landed and leaped. Dust everywhere, and when it finally settled, Pikachu was on top. Brock said, "Good job. Take this badge." And Nash Ketchum had 2 badges now. Because one was from Pallet Town from 5 years ago, because apparently Pallet Town now has a gym. Nash Ketchum was on the road again and laughed It was nice out. The trees were swaying in the wind. But Nash Fetchum thought about the voice. This voice had already been right multiple times, more times than Nash himself. And then he heard the voice again. Nash Fetchum, look up. And Nash, looking up to the sky, and saw Rayquaza. Nash Fetchum challenged Rayquaza and caught it in a Pokeball. Nash Fetchum said, yay, in celebration. I got Rayquaza. And then went to the daycare to drop it off. But when he put Rayquaza in the Pokeball and gave it to the nice lady, the lady said, cute Rayquaza, it's time to play with your blocks. But Rayquaza said, Rayquaza does not play with blocks. Rayquaza smash. And then he used Hyper Beam and the daycare center blew up. I can't keep reading this shit. I'm trying to fix this and I'm trying my best to make it like make sense. But like it's a lot of work and I can already feel smoke coming out of my head. Yeah, so thank you for joining me for the first episode of Terrible Fanfiction. I'll be back next Friday. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you check out the YouTube shorts. I might just pre-record this and upload it because this is some bullshit. But yeah, thanks for joining me, guys. I'll see you on Monday for the podcast. Peace.